The maze twisting, ever twisting. Do you plan to see what you're missing? The sound of a bell from a tiny adventurer signals a new beginning.
Hello everybody, my name is Skybound.
Starbucks.
And we've just finished watching episode 3, season 1 of Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia. You can see the reaction down in the link below as usual. And here are our thoughts on it. I'm going to spare you the episode summary this time because I realised during post-production it was actually really boring. So, fuck that. Just go away with episode summary. Let's instead talk about episode 3 where Izuku is trained in a very sort of Rocky Balboa kind of way to become a hero. By which I mean he cleared trash from Skegness.
That wasn't Skegness. That was a like. I thought that was a like not even a. Yeah. Anyway.
That was beyond Skegness, to be fair.
That was a dump. That was a literal scrapyard.
But yeah, so essentially he was training with All Might by cleaning trash from a beach. Then he went to school, and when we ended off, it was at the entrance exam. That's pretty much the most abridged version I can give you without like going into too much detail.
Yes.
Now I have to say, I did definitely enjoy this episode, and I do like the pace that it's going with. So obviously we see a lot of All Might doing his training. So apparently Izuku at the moment is weak and fragile and not really capable of accepting this mighty gift of All Might's power. Yeah. So yeah, we get a training montage where he is essentially just dragging trash off the beach, which also has a very sort of nice message of you don't have to be some Spider-Man, Superman, Captain America style person. You don't have to go to some Avengers school to be a hero. You can do smaller things in your community, or absolutely terrifyingly massive things in the case of that wasteland of a beach.
I think to be fair, that is super. I think he already had superhuman powers.
Yeah, superhero powers.
I mean, the point I'm making is, I think if he wasn't in a world full of quirks, that would have been a superhuman feat.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know if this was the intention, but it also gave off this message of like, you don't have to have some special power to be a hero. You can do things in your community, to improve your community in general. You can clean up your neighbourhood. You can do these good deeds and all that sort of thing. And while you're not, like a superhero in that you have these superhero powers, you're gonna be considered, at least if not a hero, an asset to your community. And really, isn't that what being a hero is all about?
Wow.
Well, that and beating up giant villains, but I mean, typically you don't see many of those in the UK.
You don't generally. I mean, take it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, you don't really get to see that many like giant monsters in the world, unless you count like Donald Trump. But then again, that could be argued. I mean, let's not get political.
But I mean, to be honest, I think the thing is, we come from the UK, so it's just like unlike Japan, we don't have to deal with like Godzilla and all those other sort of giant monsters constantly attacking our cities. From what I hear, that's a very common problem in Japan. But it was certainly a very enjoyable episode to watch, and getting feathers thrown at me aside, I'm actually quite. I have to admit, I really did enjoy that episode, and I do like how it's being paced so far. We've also seen a couple of new faces, especially in the intro. We've seen some interesting looking heroes who I'm quite keen to meet. We also have to look forward to episode 4, because episode 4 I think is when shit is going to get real, because that's when he goes into his entrance exam for real.
Well, yeah, that's when we're going to actually start to
That's when we're going to see the powers.
Well, hopefully, but I mean, I hope it isn't one of these things that takes so long that he's like, oh yeah, it takes him to basically. I hope it isn't one of these things where he has to learn to use his own strength before his power gets activated or something like that.
I have a feeling it'll be one of those sort of cliche times where it'll be like, you know, he'll only manage to activate it when he's most in need of activating it, kind of thing. You know, I don't think it's going to be like something that takes super long to charge. I mean, I don't think this is going to be a Megumin kind of explosion type sort of thing where he has to chant for like half an hour before he can actually cast it.
Yeah.
But yeah, his power, which is apparently swallowing hair,
that is the thing about this.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he looks like as this kind of All Might-esque figure. I don't think he'll quite turn into massive sort of buff, Johnny Bravo looking bastard.
I don't think he will, but I think he will certainly have, essentially a one-punch style sort of
probably
thing.
I have to admit, the power that he's inherited is quite interesting. Like his power is the ability to pass on his power.
Well, I think it's like it's not just the ability to pass on power. I think it's the ability of basically combined power over time. So basically, it passes on to one person, and then as they basically train and become really, really powerful by doing the heroic feats.
Yeah, I think
then basically that accumulates over time and gets passed on. It gets more powerful the longer it gets passed on to someone.
Yeah, I think to be honest, they did kind of mention that, you know, it gets passed to one person, they cultivate it, then it goes to the next person who then cultivates it, and then it's basically just everyone cultivating this one combined power and passing it on to the next worthy person for that. So yeah, that's interesting because that must contain a lot of power inside it. So it's going to be interesting to see how Izuku unleashes this power, and if he gets his own superhero name, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's really it from me for the time being. I will give my score at the end. For now, I will point you to Starlight.
Well, I mean, I've kind of been giving my views halfway through the thing anyway, but yeah. Well, the whole having to try harder thing that was mentioned, again, I'm definitely getting a vibe of this is basically somebody with some form of not mental, but learning difficulty. I mean, I've gone through some things like that, and I've had to work twice as hard as half of my peers just to get over some of the stuff that would be just as easy as, some people who just aced through it. And I've had to work hard to the most, and it's kind of, I can see a lot of that in this. It just rings too true to what I've had experience, where I've had to work twice as hard. I mean, admittedly, I didn't get fucking superpowers at the end of it, but the point I'm still making is,
I mean, software development is a superpower in my eyes.
It's a superpower and a curse at the same time, because you have to be flipping insane to want to fucking do that.
My superpower is a raise.
My superpower is dealing with the bullshit of some people at my company.
My superpower is understanding JavaScript, the most powerful.
No, it's not the most powerful. Well, you say that. It really is. It is quite powerful, but at the same time, it's so flexible, and that's part of the problem. It's like, anyway, computer programming aside, yes, it does it does remind me a little bit of the whole, him basically having a learning difficulty and trying to work a lot more harder to get where he wants. It may take him longer to get the skill, to be able to do this, but he can get there eventually. And that, to me, I mean, I don't know whether that's the way they were trying to write it, but it seems so. I don't know whether I'm just projecting it on there, but onto the character, but it seems to fit too well.
I mean, to be honest, the fact that we can interpret a couple of different messages from the show is a pretty good sign of good writing. There's a couple of things we can get from this that may not necessarily have been the director's intention, but kind of came naturally. That's a pretty good sign of good writing in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to me, I don't know whether there'll be more signs of it, but it definitely seems like I don't know. I don't know whether it's deliberate, but even if it isn't, it, as you say, it's a good sign that it can be interpreted in so many different ways. You don't want something with a too forceful message, because when you get into the point when somebody says, "Oh yes, he's basically got the power of Asperger's," or basically the power of weaponized autism, or something like that. But, mind you, that sounds like
4chan man.
Isn't that just Anon, for Christ's sake?
Yes.
That's Anon.
Yeah.
4chan man
Anon.
is Anon.
Anon, the man with the power to dox everyone, as long as they're flying flags. But
Oh
anyway,
God, let's not get into that.
anyway, yes.
But yeah, yeah. So as I say, I think as far as my review of, well, I don't know how many things out of something we're going to use, but
I guess we'll just go with the good old classic and reliable scale that I've made up right on the spot right now.
Of
9 heroes out of UA.
I don't know.
Look, I'm trying. I've not got my Nepgear with me, so I can't use the Nepgear rating.
Well, yeah, but Pinkie Pie really isn't the right sort of thing either.
No, the Pinkie Pie scale only scales properly when talking about ponies. We have to talk about anime stuff. So I rate this Megumin out of Aqua.
I'm just gonna rate it. I would say 8 out of X. I don't even flipping know at this point.
Yeah,
out of feathers. We're not even doing this. We're not doing this seriously.
we liked the episode. That's what we're trying to say. It was a good episode.
It was a good episode again.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for watching. If you've got this far, bless you.
Bless your soul for getting this far. Bless whatever thing your religion or your beliefs hold, regardless of whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
For
Anyway,
getting this far,
I'm Skybound,
Starlight Flux.
and we'll see you for the next episode of Boku no Hero Academia. Goodbye.